Okay, you do realize that the pale Arab is an enemy to the black man. That the pale Arab Muslim looks at the black Muslim as inferior. And that to this day, even right now as we speak, our brothers and sisters who are black just like us are being enslaved and oppressed, physically humiliated and tortured by Arab Muslims, typically in these Arab lands. And with that being understood, we see a lot of propaganda pushed by the left that shows these people being blown up, these Arab Muslims being blown up by the US and tortured and humiliated. All the stuff that they're actually doing to our people, they got evidence of the US doing to their people. And I'm saying, bravo. Never more, and never in any other situation would I want to be seen wearing or waving the US flag, except when I'm doing so to support the death of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of Arab Muslims. I could care less. I really don't condone women and children dying in any situation, but all the men, oh man. Are these the same men that put that sister that I just put on my Facebook, who they put in the ground and buried her up to her neck and stoned her in her face till she died? If they're the same type of guys, like those type of guys, then their deaths are like a celebration for everybody on earth, especially if you're black. I don't know if it's a celebration if you're a Muslim or you're an Arab, but if you're just a black man like myself, or a black woman, or even a black child, this whole war on terror is a celebration, because these are our enemies. You just have to look at the historical connections. Look at it from a historical context. Look for evidence today. Look in the Quran, the holy book. Look everywhere you can to come up with a good assessment of how Arab Muslims view us and treat us, black people. And I'm pretty sure it will be very dismal, it will be very pessimistic, and very ugly, because you'll have an overwhelming amount of evidence of eunuchism, castration of black males, harems of black women, female sex slaves, some as young as Aisha, who was 9 years old when she married the Prophet. Then just the humiliating style of beatings that Arabs love to put on each other. Like, they just have a very humiliating style of beating. Like, just, it looks so terrible. It looks like the criminal is the goddamn saint, and the people punishing the criminal are the goddamn devils. That's how it looks in every one of their punishment videos. It looks like that human being could not possibly have been guilty of the crime which they were accused of, and that all those people that punished this person should be put to death for that action. That's how it looks. So I'm saying, man, you say you love black people and you hate the US, that's not possible. You say you love black people and you hate the US because of slavery. I can understand that. You got the historical context in there. But you hate the US because it oppresses Muslims? You hate the US because it goes to Muslim countries where they don't give a fuck about black life, just like in America, and puts those countries to sleep, turns them upside down, carpet bombs them? We don't give a fuck about anybody who lays a finger on our people, whether they live or die. Take the handkerchiefs off your heads. Put down the Asian flags and the Arab flags and all these other cultures and tastes other than your own. All your concern for how these people are doing. Because we don't give a rat's ass what happens to an Arab Muslim who says that this type of stuff is okay that this is the way it's done here in Arabia, in Arab land. I see a lot of Uncle Tom Negroes who feel like they're not Uncle Toms because they speak out against the U.S. Or they're not Uncle Toms because they speak out against injustice wherever they find it. But they are Uncle Toms because they are speaking out. It's like if we saw the white man with a rope around his neck, getting ready to be lynched by somebody. And we said, let him go. Stop lynching our people. Them not our people. Second of all, that white man, his whole history is just full of lynching us. So when we see these Muslims being blown up by the U.S., being tortured and humiliated, oppressed, told what to do, we should be applauding this. We should only be trying to talk about it when it's happening in our countries that are full of black people who are thriving and doing okay, making a way for themselves. When the CIA in Belgium try to do something to a place like the Congo, Zaire, when we have invasions and occupations of our own people. But you're talking about you against the invasion and occupation of lands where our people were nothing but slaves typically. Man, burn those places to the ground. I'm sick of all this anti-patriotic stuff that we deal with when we don't study our history to understand that, first of all, Christianity is not like an alternative to Islam or Islam an alternative to Christianity. But if Christianity helps bring about the end of Islam, it's pretty much helping bring about the freedom for black people. If Islam helps bring about the end of Christianity, it's helping to bring about the freedom of black people. Unfortunately, if either one still stays in place, you'll be guaranteed no freedom. We gotta stop thinking that these people that we care about us just because we see them getting their heads blown off. These people are black people's enemy. These people are black people's